Mafia, The Sopranos, but a video game. Tommy Angelo is sitting in a cafe waiting for a detective to arrive so he can tell him about his former life in the Mafia, in a try to hopefully get a lesser sentence. Yeah, Tommy's a fucking rat. A fucking rat bastard. Tommy starts yapping and we actually start the game helping two randoms who rob some shipping deck or something. Some dumb shit. What kind of person are you to rob a shipping deck? The fuck? You gotta outrun these goons who are chasing them and they fucking suck at driving. How the fuck do you crash into that shit? But it is the 1920s, so I get it. You go through some epic ass chase scene for 10 minutes. I don't remember this in any Martin Scorsese film. You make it back to O Block or the Hood or whatever, and they pay you pretty well. You're now a part of the Mafia. Nice. You also find out their names are Paulie and Sam, if I didn't mention that. This Paulie guy has a really fucking annoying voice, and he's just kind of a bitch. So get used to it. They say see you around, kid. This guy looks like my fucking son. Sit down, little boy. You then have to do some stupid ass driving around for some Karen ass lady. Yeah, I'll drive a train on your back, you stupid bitch. You drop the lady off, she tells you to stop smoking like it isn't the fucking 1920s where everybody was getting mouth cancer from smoking and sucking dick. The next guy you pick up works at an art gallery and you need to drop him off, but the whole time he's being an asshole and super classist. And he tells you to get a real job, which is fair, but I'm still gonna crash this fucking whip because I'm tired of your bitch. Also, this is supposed to take place in Chicago, I think, but this shit really feels like New York because everybody's just steady fucking hating. Also, this dude gives you 50 cents even though you're speeding to get him to the stupid fucking art gallery. So just know if you do that shit, you're getting jumped. Next guy you pick up is all drunk and he's spitting hella facts about the police and shit, and he's all 1930s woke and shit. He tells you to catch a break at some coffee stand when two goons that be looking like Alf and Al Pacino pull up on you smashing up your whip and shit. But then Tommy throws one into the other like some cartoon so he can start running away when all of a sudden they bust out a strap and start shooting. But they really shooting that shit they got 50 rounds there. They're really shooting that shit. Tommy runs all the way to the bar where you dropped off the other Mafia goons, Paulie and Sam if you forgot. And then these dudes pop out with guns looking like they're really down to slide for you. I mean, look at this guy. He has no chin. Menace activity. Paulie and Sam take you in to talk to the Don and he looks like a real mob boss. He really fits the role. He's all nice and chin and professional. You telling him you're trying to slide for Vaughn, aka your little dumbass cab. Also, everybody around the Mafia boss, whose name is Salieri, they glazing him and shit, which makes sense, I guess, since he's a Mafia boss. He's probably level 100 or some shit. You meet the armorer for the Mafia and he's all chill and he got all the guns in the world, at least all the guns and baseball bats for the 1930s. You meet another guy named Ralphie who's the Mafia's car fixer. He runs a little chop shop. He chill and shit, but he got a stutter. He's probably a little autistic. That's fine. But he looked like he about to crash out everywhere on Paulie and start nutting on it. You slide back on the opposition. Not really though, you just start blowing up cars and shit. But he does get kinky with one guard and beats the shit out of another one. I mean he beats the shit out of this dude. Look at him. He's dead. You make it back with the car, the dude who smashed up your taxi. His name's Dino or some shit. It's fucking dinosaur, bro. You also beef him with another mob boss named Morello. And Salieri starts glazing himself because he thinks he's the big guy. Then he starts going on about someone who says some people who say fuck and all this. Fuck all that. Fuck you, bitch. We skip ahead a few months or something and Tommy becomes a top dog kind of guy.
Oh, I'm hurt. Oh, my neck.
Salieri assigns you to go collect the money that these businesses owe you, Classic mob shit. Also, the armorer guy whose name is Vinny, I think. Classic Italian name. He gives you your first gun and shows you how to stroke that shit. You make a few pickups when all of a sudden you get ambushed by these other Mafia guys who all of a sudden take over this motel. They some ops or something, but you get all of them, you take the money. It's pretty cool. We keep getting flashbacks or flash forwards, I guess, something of the two. It's really weird. They just yap at each other in the bar. We get a flashback for him. We see the guy who's our main op. His name is Morello, and we see a scene of him beating the shit out of this dude who he rear-ended. And he does it in broad daylight in front of the cops to push the point that he owns the city or something. I didn't believe him. We flash forward back to 1932 when Tommy's in kind of deep and now he has to win some stupid ass race against some European who Morello owns. Still one of the race cars for the race and you tune it up so the car gets destroyed and that's the dude who Morello owns, I guess. And also this scene is really weird because you're driving the race car of a dude who everybody has their money on. And if everybody has his money on him, wouldn't this be a huge scandal? Like, this is like kind of something weird to gloss over, like, especially if you're driving it out in public as well, which is like, imagine that you see somebody riding a race car of the dude that you're betting on. You're like, what the fuck is that thing doing out on the street? And then the next day, the fucking thing explodes. Like, what? After Tommy wins the race, you meet some like fine ass 1930s girl who's like flirting with you and shit, and she's fine and shit.
Holla at you, holla!
One day you walk the girl back who was like flirting with you at the racetrack home, and she turns out to be the Don's goddaughter, and she's also fine as shit if I didn't mention. You get stopped by these dudes who keep like trying to sexually harass Sarah, and they start acting like Salieri's like Michael Jordan, and he's like washed and shit. And they start glazing Morello like he Tatum, but Tommy not having none of that and beat the shit out of them. I don't know what it is about this game, but they love beating the shit out of people. It's weird, but I understand. It's the Mafia. He beats them up, but then the basher comes out to play and you beat him down. I don't know, you get fucked up and stuff. She invites you inside. You'll get a little freaky, but nothing too crazy. You'll have a little me and talk about getting get back on the ops for laying hands on fine shit, so y'all get to spinning. You chase the motherfucker down and they crash. You're about to kill them when you hesitate and Paulie blasts both of them in the car. You meet with the boss and find out that one of the dudes is a city councilor's son and the other survived the crash. The crash where he literally rammed into like a light pole and where he was already knocked out while bleeding from his head. The same crash where Paulie shot him twice in the chest. Who knows how this dude survived? He's fucking lucky, bro. No, but he low-key a savage for taking that crash. A concussion and 2 shots to the chest. He's probably walking around with Antonio Brown levels of CTE right now. Tommy goes to a brothel to take out some hooker who knows Sam because he's been like talking to her about the business, I guess. I don't know. Sam's a freak. He makes his way to her when he actually buys her off and gives her money to leave town because like Sam really loves her or some shit. I don't know, fucking weird. He also plans a bomb in the manager's office and tries to like jump from one building to the other. Like, bro, you're not making that. You're trash. Oh shit. Tommy makes his way to the church. Who knows why there's a brothel only a street away from a church, but yeah, it's the 1930s. Tommy sees Billy looking very good for being able to survive a crash, an Antonio Brown level concussion and 2 shots to the chest, by the way. He chases him through the church and blows him away. No pause. I emptied about 3 shots into him, and the fact that he is still in this cutscene is just fucking insane. I mean, that's 3 shots into him, and the fact that he's still in this cutscene is just fucking insane. I mean, that's pretty much 5 shots in total, bro.
Fine retribution.
He tells the priest to tell the police, bars, that the gunman had East Coast accents, which is like, yeah, the police are really gonna believe that in Chicago 2 New York dudes came into a church and killed everybody. Sure, dude. Also, later they say that this entire thing, like, didn't make it into the newspaper, which is like fucking insane. Like, they literally shot up a church, kind of. Like, what? Later we see Tommy with Frank, and also Frank calls him a bitch and heat, but like, he's a nutsack, so he shouldn't be talking. He says Tommy's gonna get fucked if he keeps flashing his money, which is like, first, pause, heavy on that. Second, what the fuck are you talking about? You decide to go get some crates and shit, but when you get there, the police like try to bust on Tom and shit, but he like turns it around and like busts all over them. Sam gets shot. He be aight. There's also this actually fucking insane chase scene that lasts way too fucking long. And there's like this fucking insurgent car like GTA. It's really weird. You drive to Sarah's apartment after the whole thing because you're like really horny or something. I don't know. I think she finally lets Tommy fulfill his lifelong dreams of being a plumber because she sees how hard he works and shit. And then he asks her to marry him, which she says yes, kind of. A while later, you meet with Salieri in a park and he tells you that he thinks Frank is a rat and he needs you to take care of him. He also tells you he shot a dog he tried to drown that Frank would let him drown, which is actually fucking psychotic, because what the fuck. Tommy goes to the airport and he reaches the hangar where he's about to fly out from, and he tells you he's being chased by Morello and was forced to hand over the accounting books or something, to which he gives the key to the accounting books place to Tommy. I guess Morello like forgot to get it from him, which is like, nice move, dickhead. I mean, if he didn't get the key, like, then you pretty much just paid him so he could just leave. So Tommy lets him fly away with his family. Such a nice ending. Tommy grabs the book and brings it back to Salieri, and Salieri doesn't even know, like, what happened. So, yeah. Also, Morello shows up to his fake funeral, and Salier and Morello start beefing like, yeah, I'd shoot you if you wasn't at my homie's funeral.
You're not gonna blow your gun.
I bet y'all shoot the shit out your
Oh, little Nick.
But they all chill and shit for some reason. Me personally, I would have fucking killed everybody there. Tommy goes to break into some prosecutor's mansion to find a safe and to like destroy evidence or something. He breaks in, does the thing. Guys pull up, shoot out, boom. Tommy and the gang meet up to discuss a little deal on finding a new supply for the business. You meet up with Matt Gates. Oh wait, that can't be right. You meet up with a guy who gives you the key to some crates or something, but the deal goes wrong and the legendary level 50 ops from 63rd pull up blasting. Matt Gates gets shot and now you gotta drive off with all the shit. You fight your way through the parking garage until you get out and do another epic chase scene with you driving and protecting the bruise. It's 2 years later and everybody balling out. They all got their own rackets and shit, like some are legal, some aren't. They also clarify that the Mafia does everything besides sell drugs, which is like, okay. Tommy and the Don drive back to his place to have oh wait, that's fanfic. Tommy and the Don drive to a restaurant because his driver is out or something. It's all Italian as fuck up in the restaurant. They all chilling. They eating and talking. Tommy and Sally eating some fire ass looking food until the ops from 63rd pull up and start shooting the shit up. So Tommy and Salieri team up to fight them off, which is pretty cool, I guess. Salieri accuses his driver of being the snitch who like told him to go there. So Tommy and Salieri pull up on him and body him. Don Salieri like empties a clip into him. It's pretty sick. The devious ass dude was cracking some girl while wearing a tank top, huge boxers, and shoes. Dangerous. Salieri kills him in the kind of way that Morello killed that guy in the street, which seems like symbolic since he kills him in like the projects in a fairly discreet alleyway with very few people. So yeah, it's a while later and everybody's beefing now, but I guess when Frank snitched and we fucked up the cars, it wasn't really war, it was just like street beef. Tommy gets assigned to go assassinate the city councilor who's being paid off by Morello. He sneaks onto a cruise ship. It's also his birthday, by the way. That's why he's on a cruise trip. He extravagant and shit. He assassinates the guy, escapes. Pretty simple. We flash forward to Sam and Vinny chasing down Sergio, Morello's brother and right-hand man. They crash hard as hell and survive somehow. I mean, like, they were speeding hella fast. Like, they literally sped up to, like, get past the train. Like, that shit really looked like Paul Walker. Vinny gives you a fucking bomb to put under Sergio's car. This is crazy. But I understand. He plants the bomb, but a different person gets in the car and chick chick boom, you know what I'm saying? Tommy meets up with Paulie and Sam to, like, go kill the dude at a restaurant in broad day, which is, kind of crazy. But I understand. They chase him down, he crashes, and then he like sits in front of some barrels and, I don't know, Tommy throws a lighter on him, whole place blows up. After Sergio dies, it gets crazy in the street, I guess. Salieri sends Tommy and them to go assassinate Morello in broad daylight. They pull up on the 60-30s in front of a theater he's coming out of. They brick tremendously, and he speeds off. Once again, epic chase, long fucking shootout. You find him trying to escape in a plane, and then you shoot the fucking engines out, and he crashes. And he lives through it, by the way. I mean, everybody in this universe is just, like, infinitely strong. Like, this is crazy. A crash, concussion, and 2 shots? Okay, possibly, maybe. But a plane crash? Yeah. You're off the deep end. We flash back forwards on Flash once again to Tommy and the detective in the diner. I don't know how the detective is gonna remember all this shit. He's, like, he's telling him, but the detective doesn't even have, like, a notepad, like a recording device, nothing. We also find out that Morello and Salieri used to be bros. This would mean something if Morello wasn't already dead, you know? Salieri assigns Tommy to go assassinate some guy running for governor who opposes them. So this is extremely illegal, as everything else is that they do, but this is like a governor. So shouldn't this be like an insane reaction or something? They also keep calling Tommy an amazing shooter as well, which is like, is this guy LeBron of the Mafia game now or what? He can drive great, he can hit accurate shots on political candidates. This is ridiculous. Take note. Tommy kills the dude, he gets a 5-star wanted level. Tommy gets home to his wife who tells him the politician was fighting for the 19th Amendment, which is women's suffrage for you out there who didn't pay attention in class. How terrible of Tommy. It's weird how they frame this as if this is the only thing that really makes him a bad person, but at this point, how many people has he extorted and or murdered? It's still bad whether you killed the dude or not. Now it's prison day before Tommy becomes a rat. Salieri gives him a job to go capture some cigars. Not just any cigars, special cigars. Seriously though, the cases are hiding diamonds within them. I know, right? Comical. They also talk about the job like it's the most intense shit they've done since they're like technically impounded This is like light work compared to what we just saw. Also, while they're riding there, Polly tells them about like a bank robbery he's planning. Forget about it. Tommy breaks in, finds the crates, and escapes. They all make it back to a warehouse where they check on one of the crates that's busted up and shit. They open up one of the cigar things and try to find the diamonds, but then they open them to find heroin. So this is fucking crazy. He told them he doesn't deal with drugs and then goes out to get drugs. Nothing too insane since he does run the city. But heroin? Out of any drugs you could have chosen to deal, you chose heroin. The hardest drug out on the street next to the one that rhymes with bent, especially for the 1930s. This is fucking crazy. But I understand. King of the city and you think you can get away with everything now? Understandable. Tommy and Polly discuss the bank job and they sit on it until the literal next mission where they do the bank job. This is also back in the day where I guess they had fucking keys for the vault. This is stupid. But the cops pull up, but Tommy pulls out his thing like R. Kelly and starts They escape and shit, and yeah. Tommy and his little wife are chilling when he tells her to pack their bags because they're going on like a road trip out of town for a bit. Tommy goes to stop by Polly's and finds him dead. Did the 60-30s catch up? Did O-Block find out about the bank? Who knows?
Salieri, he found out about the bank job.
Sam calls the phone and talks to Tommy. Sam tells him to meet up at the city gallery. If you haven't figured it out by now, it was the dude from the beginning of the game who Tommy picked up in the taxi, and he ratted on him and secretly became Salieri over time. He morphed their skin so they could become one. He traps Tommy at the gallery, and then he kills... I'm joking, by the way. The actual twist is that Sam set Tommy up. He monologues a little bit about how he's a hoe-ass dude and how he has to sell Tommy and Paul out and he wants to go up and away, blah, 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 blah. Of course, Tommy ain't going for that and slides on all of them. This leads into another huge finale shootout. Again, he fights through a lot of people, but it's actually pretty fun this time. It actually makes sense for it to be like this. I actually enjoyed a fighting thing for once. It's actually pretty chill. He gets through and eventually kills Sam. He monologues and tells you that Frank started betting on a dog track and someone spotted him, and then they killed him. How fucking stupid. Sam tries to appeal to Tom by talking about Polly, but that just drives him to fucking shoot him. And that's the end. Benjamins actually looked like that back then. There's a little epilogue where we see Tommy living through his life until he's old. He gets to walk his daughter down the aisle and shit. It's all happy Mafia game. We see Tom in prison and everybody else who was in the Mafia getting locked up and shit. It's a little bit bittersweet. Ralphie didn't deserve that. At the very end of the epilogue, we get to see two randoms pull up to an old Tommy Angelo before blowing his old ass the fuck away. All of his family pull up and he got sons and shit. Also, the dudes who killed him are actually a part of the next game, Mafia 2.
People dying, better pick a side. You already know how my hitters ride. I got money for Dracos, better lay low or your ass to be chicken fried. Most of my problems got minimized. They get involved just to criticize. I can't wait till I bend and slide. Shine, I'm eating food like it's dinner time. My pops was a killer, but I made it bigger, so fuck it, it's up and I'm killing too. I know why they hate, cause I've been the truth. If my bro's spinning, then I'm spinning too. Bitch, you think this fame is gonna stop me from catching a body? You wish. I'm still catching withdrawals from my last body. Woo K, your bro did a crime that you paid. And bitches start running their lips like they with the shits, they get hit with like 2 strays. Ain't nobody safe, that's what's showing on. Look at the news like it's going wrong. Just pay attention, the show is on. If I ever catch a op, I'ma let the Glock pop until the shoulder gone. You don't know who you dealing with, I'ma show you. I went to jail, I couldn't make bail, but I do not tell nigga, I don't owe you. I'm international, yeah, it's local. If you looking for help, listen, I coach you. Whenever it's war, then you meet the ghost. Just look at my face, you can see the choke. Brooklyn, the home of the gooey sauce, that's where niggas get Peter Road. Shots fired.
Well, that's it for me. This game was alright. I wouldn't play it again, though. It had some pretty terrible mechanics and some very, very annoying things within it. But overall, this story is pretty interesting, and it was definitely worthwhile. Kinda want to play the second game, because I heard it's better, and it seems super interesting. Plus, Mr. Salieri is still alive, somehow. He was like 60 when we saw him as young Tommy. Ain't no way. If y'all want to see me do the second game, comment down below, like the video, and subscribe. All of it really helps. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Bobby, and I'm out.
No interruptions, stereos pumping from the dungeon, coming live from Flatbush Junction and making it hard to function, breaking down your sound systems and governmental corruption. So step aside, pumpkin.